Are we going to learn a new rule today? Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hanan.
Are we going to learn a new rule today?
Inshallah, we'll see, Michelle. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all. Welcome back to Tibyaan program. We'll start with the Qiraat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا صدق الله العظيم. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. So as I said, welcome back to Tibyaan program. Today is a Thursday. So today in our class, we're going to turn it into two halves, split it into two halves. In the first half, we're going to learn a tajweed rule, and the second, we're going to learn a few verses of Surah AlBaqarah. And I would like to say something before we start the tajweed class. And from next week onwards, every Thursday, it would be any one of you who will be reading the Qiraat. So on Tuesdays, I will do the Qiraat. On Thursdays, it will be one of you. At Tuesday, in the Tuesday class at the end, I will say which one should be ready for saying the Qiraat on Thursday. So that person should get ready, and he or she should say the Qiraat on Thursday. On Tuesdays, I will do myself.
Which surah will you do?
No, yeah, in the Qiraat you can do any surah you like. Try to do which you are very good in, and avoid mistakes. So that the Qiraat you should avoid mistakes. You can do your favorite part, any part in the Quran, but try to make it less as well. Yeah, so we can start with our Tajweed class. I'll share the screen. I hope all of you can see the screen. Okay. So last class we learned few rules of waqf. Okay, what we're going to do this class, last class we learned 3 points, 2 more are left. So today we're going to I'll explain these two, the other two we'll finish it fast. So first, just for a revision, what we learned last class, we revised the haraka, the fatha, kasra, dhamma, fathatain, kasratain, and dhammatain, these 6 harakas. And what we learned last class was the 3 things which we learned, 3 points. So I'll revise it. First point, the word you stop is ending with haraka. Haraka mean in the sense these 6, except fathatain. Every haraka except fathatain you should change into sukoon while stopping. So that was the first one. We look through examples as well. Idha jaa nasrullahi wal fath. Ha is with lomma, but when we are stopping, it'll be wal fath. It'll be sukoon. Even walahum adabun alimun bima kanu yakdhibuna. It is yakdhibuna, but when you're stopping, you should turn into sukoon. Yakdhibun. That was the first one. Second one, the word you stop is ending with fathatain. So you should change that into fathatain means two fathas together. You should change into fatha plus alif mad, 2 counts. So fatha, you should make the fathatain into a fatha. You should make it into one fatha plus an alif mad, which is only for 2 counts, not the real mad, the mad you do for 4 counts, is not that one. The small mad, 2 counts. So example we looked وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ فِي دِينِ اللَّهِ أَفْوَاجًا. When you're stopping, it's أفواجا. Actually, it's أفواجا, but when you're stopping, it should be أفواجا with alif madda. And then the third one which we learned was word you stop is ending with ta'ul marbuta, the round ta, the ta'ul marbuta. You should change into ha plus sukoon. So you should change that into ha plus sukoon. Um, yeah, you should change into ha. 1 minute. Yeah, you should change into ha plus ha sukoon. So the ta'ul marbuta should be converted into ha, and it should be ha sukoon, no matter which haraka it is. So even if it is fathatain, you should not do like if you're stopping somewhere with the ta'ul marbuta fathatain, then you have to make it into ha sukoon. You have to make it into ha sukoon irrespective of the haraka. So example we looked yeah, so we looked here. كلا لينبذن في الحطمة. حطمة here. Hutamati. It's hutamati actually. But when you stop, it will be ha sukun. Hutama. وما أدراك ما الحطمة. Again the same thing. Ta mabuta with lamma, it will be converted into sukun. حطمة. نار الله الموقدة. Narullahil muqadatu. It should be, but ta will be converted into ha sukun. Muqadah. Yeah. So that is it. And we learned even another one, the easy one. Like if it is already in a sukun, you should not do. You should have no change in it. It should be the normal with sukun itself. So we look through the example. Walahum. If you're stopping at walahum, it should be walahum itself. No change. So those are the three which we learned. Now two more are left. We'll go through those both, and then we can learn Surah Al-Baqarah. Yeah. So now the fourth one, the word you stop is ending with mad. You should change into a normal alif mad. So this is a complex rule. So actually, it's not so hard. If you're stopping with a word that has a mad on it, mad means the mad sign. You should change. It should have the mad sign, not the normal. This I told you. This is also a mad. Afwaja. That is also a mad, but that does not have a mad sign. Mad sign means there should be a sign like a wave, the wave sign. Only with the mad sign should change into normal alif. It should be normal alif mad like this one. We did alif mad like a normal alif mad. So examples, I had to tell this in the last class which we learned Surah Al-Baqarah. I had to tell in that, but since we didn't learn it, so I didn't tell here. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا. You can see a mad sign here. So what if you're doing on qalu? If you're stopping at qalu, we like the rule we learned right now. It says that you should make it into a normal alif mad. So how do we read it? وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا. That's it, normal. It should be normal, no mad, because when we are stopping. Then if you continue, you should do qalu, you should do the mad as well. So that is the fourth. If you're stopping at the word which has a mad, then it should be converted into normal without mad, normal alif without mad. A normal alif mad. Alif mad does not mean alif, okay? Alif does not mean alif. Alif mad does not mean alif. It means of a normal. It actually has a name, but we didn't learn mad in detail. So I'll explain it in a few classes when we learn about mad in detail, types of mad and all. So here, what you have to do is call. You have to do only for 1-2 seconds, like normal. Yeah, normal mad. Yeah. So again, even here, وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا. When you're stopping, it should be قَالُوا, not قَالُوا. It should be only قَالُوا. And this is only for a mad that comes at the end of the word. Here, ulaika, there is a mad, okay? These are different mad, they have different names. We will learn through it when we learn the mad in detail. So you can't stop ula, you can't stop this because this is one word. So you can't stop in the middle of a word. That is wrong. So you can't cut a word. You can only cut two words. Like you can separate two words, but you can't cut a word. You can't separate a word. You can't split it into two. So you can't stop ula. This is a one. This is one word. Ula ika. Here qalu and inna, two different words. Qalu and amanna, two different words. That's why we can stop there. Okay, so that is the fourth one. When we stop with the mad, when the word we stop has a mad on it, then it should be converted into normal alif. Alif, normal alif mad. So I'm just saying it again. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا. There is a mad there. When we're stopping, it should be وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَى شَيَاطِينِهِمْ قَالُوا. قَالُوا. That much is enough. So that is the fourth one. Um, I have told the example as well. Now the last one. I hope you're clear with the fourth point. And now the last point. Word you stop is ending with a qalqala. I mean, is ending with a shadda. I'm sorry. Is ending with a shad. Shad means W letter. So in this there are three subtypes. So this is a type. This is a point. In this there are three subpoints. This the ending shadda, if it's ending on a qalqala letter, then you should do qalqalatul kubra. So we learned qalqala, right? So the qalqala, what we have to do, you have to bounce over there. Um, so if the word ending has a this thing, I'll say another thing. The word ending has a harakya and it is a qalqala letter. You have to make it into sukun, then you have to do the qalqala. I didn't say that. So you have to do the qalqala. I thought it's very normal. You have to do the qalqala because you're making it into sukun. So whenever these five letters, the qalqala letters, qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal, when they have sukun, you have to do qalqala. You have to bounce on them. Like that, word you stop ending with a shadda kalkala letter. On a kalkala letter, then you should do kalkalatul kubra. So there, kalkalatul kubra, we didn't learn the name like kalkalatul kubra. But remember when we learned, people who are there from the starting of this class, we learned in kalkala, we learned the three types, right? Three levels. I think anyone remembers three levels? And
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah.
remember. I remember.
Yeah, so yeah, Hanun remembers. Very good, Hanun. Yeah, so there are three levels. When you're stopping on a kalkala letter and it has a shadda, it is the highest level. You should do kalkala for a long time, and it should be full hardly. So, like I gave an example. This is the most easy example and common example which you all must know. Suratul Masad. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. There it's ba. What actually, if you see in the Quran, it is not actually sukun. I don't. If it is not sukun, you should make it into sukun. We learned in the first rule, right? If it's a haraka, you should make it into sukun. If you make it into sukun, it'll be I mean, it'll be a kalkala. But this also has a shad. So when we stop with the shad kalkala, you should make it into the highest level. So normal qalqala, it will be razaqnahum, razaqnahum, razaqnahum. It's normal. Here you should do a little more vibration. Um, تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب وتب. You have to do little more. This is the highest level. So razaqnahum is the first level. Maybe lowest level. Maybe you all remember. I guess. Maybe you don't. So you all. I think all of you have this in your notebook. The kalkala. So here, if it is a kalkala letter and it is ending on a shad, you should do the highest level. Then the other sub point is like the ending shad, word ending with shadda is a noon mushaddada and meme mushaddada. So what do we do then? We have to do to sukun. We have to make it into sukun. That's the main thing. If then you have to do gunna ghunna with 2 counts. So we learned, right, in the first tajweed class, we learned noon mushaddada and mim mushaddada. We should do ghunna. That is not only while having haraka, even while stopping. Even while stopping, you should do gunna. Stop, and that too a little more vibration than normal. So many of you know this ayah in Surah Rahman. Jan. You should do Jan. You have to do. There is noon shadda. You're stopping with noon shadda. Noon mushaddada means you should do gunna. Jan. You should do gunna there. So that is the second one. Noon mushaddada or me mushaddada as well. We learned that. We learned it as well. We learned it. Noon mushaddada, me mushaddada. You should do gunna. And now the last one, in any other normal letter. If normal letter has a shadda and you stop, then you should do a normal shadda and stop. Um, so example of it, any letter, lam with sukun, lam with shadda. You should do any other letter except noon, mushaddad, noon, meme, or the 5 kalkala letters. You should do like you should do saw like that, every other letter except noon, meme, and the kalkala letters. You should do stop it with a vibration. You should not stop it normally because it has a shad. You should do a vibration. So that is it for tajweed. So we'll go through examples. Yeah, so I'll just explain everything again. This revision, what we learned today. Word you stop is ending with a mud, you should change into normal mud. We learned if it is ending on a mud, the word is ending. It should not be in the middle of the word. It should be ending with a mud. Then you should make it into normal mud. We learned the example. Qalu. You should make it into qalu. That means enough. And then we learned word when you're stopping with shadda is a kalkala letter. You should do highest level of kalkala. You should do highest vibration. If it's on a noon mushaddada and mim mushaddada, you should do gunna. And that too with vibration, you should do gunna. If any normal letter, any other letter except these 7, then you should do a normal shadda with a vibration. Stop with a vibration. So that's what we learned today. Now, before we go through the examples, I would like to say here in the 4th point, if you can see my screen, you can see there's a here there's a bracket not for mad silatul kubra. So silatul kubra, I think none of you know it. None of you know what silatul kubra. This is actually a mad. So I told you there are many mad. There are many types. I've been telling you. I have been telling you. We'll learn inshallah. So yeah, this is also a type of mad which we'll learn while going through the mad class, the mad that Tajweed class. That will come in a few weeks inshallah. So this is a mad. So I'll say this is an exception. So this is the bad person who does not follow the rule. So mad silatul kubra, he is a bad person who does not follow, he or she does not follow the rule. So he breaks the rule. He or she breaks the rule. So I'll explain what is Madhur Silatul Kubra with an example. But before that, we'll go through the examples of what we learned today. Um, okay. So here you can see for the example of the mud. For the mud, I already said you qalu, that is the best example. So I'm not saying any examples for that one. The other one, the shadd, ending with a shadda. If it's a kalkala letter, you can see here. يسألونك عن الأهلة قل هي مواقيت للناس والحج. Ja, it's having kasra. Hajji, it is wet when we stop. And it has a shadda. When we stop, you should make it into sukun. So it will be hajj. Since it's a kalkala letter, you should bounce. Plus, you should have a lot of vibration. It's the highest level. Linnasi wal hajj. It's not hajj normal. Hajj, little more. Little more. It should be the highest level. So little more. So that is qalqala letter with shadda, stopping with shadda. Now noon mushaddada, mim mushaddada, if you're stopping, thumma la tus'alun. Here noon mushaddada plus fatha. Actually, there's no stopping sign, but if you are stopping, summa latus'alunna, it is actually. But since there's a fatha, and if you're stopping, you should make it into sukun. We learned in the first rule, you should make it into sukun. So if you're making it into sukun, you should do gunna. So you should be doing gunna. Summa latus'alun, alun. It should not be alun. N is wrong. There's no qalqala. Thumma latus'alun. You should do gunna there. Even meme mushadda. Thum. If you're stopping there, don't stop at summa. And just an advice: do not try not to stop at summa. It's not appropriate for you to stop there. Um, if you're stopping, if that is, do not try to stop there. But I'm just giving an example. You should do gunna as well. And if it is a normal letter like ra, walaysal bir, ra, it should be made into sukun. The dhamma should be sukun. It has a shad. So we learned in the raw rules, right? Raw rules. We learned if ra has sukun and the before letter has kasra, then it should be tarqiq. Bir. It's not be birru. Birru is wrong. Bir. So that is the normal letter. This is normal letter. Hajj is the qalqala and thumma la tus'alun is the gunna. These are the three types. So those are the examples. Now, yeah. So this is the exception I told. The rule breaking, the person who breaks the rules. Silatul kubra. So what is silatul kubra? You can see at the last, يحسب أن ماله أخلده. Here, you can see the meme. You can see here one small wow, the wow, and on top of it there is a mad sign. The mad sign is a wave sign. That too very small. This here there actually this is a mad actually. We'll learn inshallah. This actually mad. Normally you should do 4 to 5 counts. يحسب أن ماله أخلده. Actually, you should do 4 to 5 counts. But if you're stopping, you should not do malahu. It's wrong. You should remove the mad. You should stop at ha itself. يحسب أن ماله. You should stop at ha. It should not be malahu. You should not. This is the person who breaks the rule. So it should not be the normal. Qalu. It's not like that. It should break the rule. It should be malah. Like that. Even in the Quran, it comes even like this. Akhladahu. Here you can see a waw. This waw is different from this. These are same waws, but this has a mad. This does not. Here you should do only 2 counts. Here you should do 5 counts. 4 to 5 counts. So يحسب أن ماله أخلده. If you're continuing, it should be أخلده. Then continue. But if you're stopping here, أخلده. But here, this is an exception. You should stop at malah. It should not be malahu. It should not be like that. Malah. So this is the person who breaks the rules. Every time when there is a rule, there will be a person who breaks the rules. Remember that. Whenever there is a rule made, there will be a person who does not obey the rule. So like that, this time, even in Raw, there was a person who did not obey the rule. Here also, the Silatul Kubra does not obey the rule. So now we have finished the Tajweed class. I've explained everything. So before we continue, I'll give you some time. Anyone would like to write anything? So I have told you guys, try to write these things because you can forget. So if you're not forgetting, try to write. Keep a notebook, maintain a notebook, everyone. So people can write. So the thing we learned was the word you stop is with mad. You should change it into normal mad. And the exception is for Silatul Kubra. Silatul Kubra breaks the rules. And then the shad, if you are ending with a shadda, if it's kalkala, you should do the highest level. If it's a noon mushaddada, meme mushaddada, you should do gunna. If any other letter, you should stop with a normal vibration. those are the those are the two main points which we learn. There are three sub points as well. So with that, we have finished the rules of waqf, the rules of stopping. We have finished that topic. Next class, inshallah, we'll do some new topic, inshallah. Um, so I hope all of you remember what we do in the Tajweed class. So try not to forget it. Try to write it down, as I've told. Try if you write it down, you can every time refer if you're forgetting something. Um, yeah. So I think everyone have written it. We can continue. Um, yeah. So with that we have finished. We have yeah. With that we have finished the rules of waqf. So we'll go through Surah Al-Baqarah now. I want all of you to open your Quran. Though I've given in the screen, I want all of you to open your Quran. So today we're going to do two ayahs. First of all, because the first ayah is a little bit long, and the third ayah, if I give the third ayah, I know people can do the third ayah, to the first ayah and the second ayah very easily. But the thing is, the third ayah is a little bit big. So if I give three ayahs, then it'll be hard. Um, then it'll be hard for you to learn. So that's why I'm giving two ayahs today. So it'll be easy for you guys. Okay, we'll start with the class with the Surah Al-Baqarah. So what I will do, first I'll read these two for you guys to hear. I want all of you to open in the Quran and point your finger towards the words and listen carefully. And then I'll explain these rules. Then any one of you can read. Any four to five people can read. Um, yeah. So I'll start. I'll read these two ayahs first for you. Um, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. Okay, so now I'll explain the rules in these two ayahs. So ayah number 17, Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 17. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Mathaluhum, matha. It should be pronounced properly. It should not be masa. Sa is wrong. Matha, tha. The snake sound should come from your mouth. Matha. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد. Here مثلهم ha from the throat. كمثل الذي استوقد. Here كمثل الذي. You should join these both. كمثل الذي استوقد. Even here you should join. This is not a ya. You should drop these both. Even this alif, you should drop these both. You should join. كمثل الذي استوقد. كمثل الذي استوقد. So I'm repeating. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد. كمثل الذي. That comes from underneath the teeth. كمثل الذي استوقد. توقد. Qa from the lowest part of the tongue. And if you're stopping here, it should the sukun. It should be the. Mm, anyone? Anyone can hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I'll continue. كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما نارا تفخيم, it should not be ترقيق را, and نارا فلما, there you should do غنة. The rule is actually not, we'll learn through it, we'll go through it inshallah, but not now. Now I'm just saying you should do غنة. نارا فلما أضاءت. Here there are a lot of rules. You should do غنة فلما. Here meme also مشددة, you should do غنة فلما. And there is a mad as well. So فلما أضاء. Here this mad you should do 2 to 4 counts. It's better if you do 4. And فلما أضاءت, I'm sorry, أضاءت, here this is a different mad. This should be 4 to 5 counts. It should be more than this one. It should be more than this one. So if you're doing all the gunna and mad properly, it'll be like نارا فلما أضاءت. Here another thing which we learned today, falamma, this mad, falamma is one word, Allahat is one word. So this word is ending with a mad. If you're stopping, it should be nara falamma. Falamma is enough. But if you're not stopping, you should do the mad. So we just learned through it. So it's a good example for learning. Yeah. So you should, if you're stopping at falamma, you can you should not do the mad, and when you're continuing from back you should do the mad. So you can see here there's no stopping sign anywhere in these two ayahs, so you have to read from back whenever you stop. فَلَمَّا أَضَاءَتْ. Here Allah you should do mad, and Allah at ta sukun you should not do qalqal. Allah at is wrong. At ما حوله ذهب الله. Yeah.